did you decide to go with metaphysical path for 2 of your seminars this year?
Well, for 2021, I wanted to do something a little different, as I said, kind of stand down on some of the hard physical stuff that I usually am known for. I will still do that in the sense of, private settings and things, but just on a public level, I'm going to keep it on another aspect of martial arts and another aspect of living. In this case, metaphysical stuff is more about living. It can be part of our martial art, but it's about life. It's about how life and the universe and you all work together or not. So after putting out Places, Power, and Magic, my new book, many people have asked me about these things. And I'm not going to say they're skeptical. They're just questioning. They're just curious. And if I had read such a book with things, I too would be a little skeptical because of the nature of it. So at some point, one has to step up and say, well, let's do that. Otherwise, it is just talk. It's just not much more than hot air. So in these 2 seminars, I'll be showing the elements, things that I was taught, showing the elements of how to work with the wind, the air, smoke, fog, mist, breath. All these things involve the use of air, the idea of not just up in the sky, but in your lungs, air in your lungs, air in the sky, clouds, things that float in the air. This is part of what we'll be looking at and dealing with. And yeah, it'll be fun. These are always fun. They're exploratory, they're discovery. But at the same time, it's a serious approach. So while we can approach this seriously, we should have fun with it. And I usually do these outdoors rather than indoors. Everything works better that way. And many times I use a location or not, but outdoors is best. And it allows us to, as a group, slip into the same place, the same zone. And that's what I'm looking to do, because we've done this before. We've had these type of seminars before. Many times, the riddle of steel itself had these elements. And there would be people there who would guide us in and out of this more like a shamanistic path, the things that we did. And for some, they really enjoyed it. For others, it kind of scared them. It was an unexpected thing. But I've never known master warriors who were not also somewhat mystics. They seem to go together, those two properties. And I'm not saying they have to, but they just often seem to be together. And I dub that the warrior, wizard, priest syndrome. And the wizard has that magical ability, and he's the bridge, the crossover between the Holy One, the priest, and the one who's in the field covered in dirt and blood, the warrior. And so you must have this triad in everything we do. Remember, triads are everything, whether it's Celtic, whether it's Christianity, whatever it may be. The balisong knife itself, everything is sets of 3. The art of Kali is so much is 3. 3 this, 3 prefix, 3 suffix, and sets of 3. So we want the trilogy because that's the strength. So when we're doing these things, we're going to be using energetic exercises. Just as you would do martial art exercises, or if you were at a handgun class, you would do exercise that would be beneficial towards that goal of shooting a handgun. In this case, these exercises will be designed and shared with you so that you will actually realize what you can do. And something I learned long ago was that I must never argue with anyone if they disbelieve what I do or what I say or what I can do. Because then it makes an argument. It's a conflict. So, being the crafty bastard that I am, I always allow them the right to prove me correct, rather than me proving me correct. And that is by having them do the very thing that they say, oh, you can't do that. That seems illogical. Well, okay, then I can't do that. But how about if they do that? You do that. Well, how then? Even the most adamant infidel, how then can they deny the existence of what I have shared with them? Because they themselves have just done it. They themselves have just proven me correct. And that's the only way that I really operate in these cases. And it also means that that individual who is before me is thus empowered in a new way that they never had before. They've got a new belief, and you know what that belief is a belief in themselves. It's a new level of confidence that's been achieved. It's a belief in many of the things they have learned in martial arts and their advanced studies of these various internal, external disciplines. So that's why I share this knowledge, because it has helped me in my life. So why wouldn't I share this with others, as long as it's done in the correct way? Those who are meant to receive this knowledge will be open to it, and it will just automatic install. Those who are not meant to receive such knowledge, the door will be shut, and it just will not be allowed. And this is that part of a karmic path, part of a greater energetic path that we must accept. Sometimes I know in my own past, my growth was not sufficient to sustain what I had been given. And I had to grow more internally, intellectually, spiritually, go back to that teaching and find out that now I can validate that teaching, because I am a worthy enough vessel to accept that and be able to do that. So we have to understand, and this is about understanding ourselves and the world around us. So I'm excited to do these seminars this year, because I know that we need it more than ever. It will be a limited group, because I just can't take an army out into the field and do this. So it will have to be a small group. But we always have success. We always find new things about ourselves and our world that are so exciting and so beneficial that I can only say, I look forward to meeting you and sharing these experiences with whoever it may be that can attend.